Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly J Jewellery, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this pendant. It's quite an interesting one, lots of curls and swirls that I love. You can use a larger stone if you like, just make sure you use longer wire lengths. I've put a list in the description below for everything you'll need, all the links to my Etsy shop if you're interested in my other tutorials, and there are affiliate links to all of my tools. Now, to get to the links, there's a little mark next to the title that you click on and it drops down, and then you've got all the links and all the description and everything there. Oh, and do come and share your finished work on Facebook. I've got a page, I'll put a link in the description and on the screen now. And I'd love to see all your finished work that you made from my tutorials. To make this pendant, you'll need square wire and half round wire. I'm using square wire. If you want to use round wire, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you use like a 20 gauge, which is 0.8mm. And to replace the half round wire, you could use the regular 28 gauge 0.315mm that we normally use. So I'm using square, and mine is 21 gauge 0.71mm, and I've cut 3 lengths at 9 inches, which is 23 centimetres. And the half round wire, I've cut 3 short lengths. I think that's all I need. There might be a few little extra bits. I've cut one at 4 inches, one at 3 and one at 2 inches. And to make this pendant, you can use oval, round or teardrop stones. Mine range between 8mm and 12mm. If you want to use a bigger stone, that's fine. You just have to remember to adjust your wire lengths. You'll need a selection of small beads. I've got 1mm, 2mm and 3. But the choice is yours. Tools, you've got regular pliers, round nose pliers, wire cutters, and I'll be using nylon pliers. I love these. If you don't have these, don't worry. If you want to buy any of the tools that I use, I've put affiliate links in the description below. I've sorted out all my links now and I think they all work. If they don't, please let me know. But they're affiliate links, so if you buy through my links, I will get a small percentage. Take your 3 main base wires, and we're going to start in the middle. So find the centre point, and you'll need your this is the 3-inch length that I've cut a small amount of the half round wire. And we're just going to wrap around those wires. And when you're using half round wire, you've got a rounded side and a flat side, so you have to make sure that the flat side is against the wire, so you've got that nice pretty rounded side on the outside. We're just going to keep wrapping around the base wires. Till you've used up all your wire. Then we need the wires to finish at the back. And then take your wire cutters, and you want to cut them so that you can't see the ends. And then you want to just flatten those down and squeeze them onto the base wires. Ending this, and we've got a front and a back because we want to keep our ends at the back. So you want to grab it sort of midway and bending so that the back is on the back. Put a nice V shape in those wires. This V shape, it's going to just shape the bottom of the pendant there. So here's where it gets a bit fiddly. Putting it down on a flat surface, we're just going to gently bend the wires around the sides of the stone. So you've roughly got this shape. Do you like the shine on those labradorite stones? Now we're going to shape the top. So making sure that your wires haven't crossed over each other, roughly where they meet at the top, because we want a nice gap, we don't want them too close together at the top. So we've got a nice space at the bottom and at the top. So you want to take your wires and you want to bend them out. And you've got to do this to the other side as well. I do always find it fiddly bending them on the other side. Hard to hold it and show you at this point because the stone is just very loose there, but that's the shape of the wire that we want. So now take the longer piece of wire, half round wire, and this is the 4-inch piece that I cut. And you want to make sure you've got the flat side. So we've got a flat side and a round side. You want to put the flat side against the wire. And we need to leave a little tail on this one. You want to go around all of the wires, making sure beforehand that the wires are all next to each other and they're not crossed over. Go around the whole thing. Few times. With the tail end we want to go around the base, either side, just to hold the wires in place, and then take it around that a few times. So I'm going to cut this tail end, but I'm going to keep this one because we're going to do a small bail now, and when the bail comes back down we can use this wire to secure it and hold it in place. So we need to cut this one. We need to have the cut behind the wire so we can't see it, and flatten it in place. So that's what we've got so far. Next we'll make our stone fit. We'll secure our stone in place. So pop your stone in. And we'll start at the back. And this is quite fiddly because the stone's going to keep moving around. So we need just a little gap, so pull that wire at the back a little bit, just so we've got a gap. It's just so we can grab onto it really. And where the wire comes across the stone, where the wire meets the stone here on the side, we're going to bend it in. So grab hold of your wire. We do it on the back first because the back's like a bit of a practice run, so we can get the front nice and tidy. We want the back tidy as well, but it's not really that important because it won't be seen that much. So grab hold of your wire and just put a dink, bend it right in like that. Just hold the stone in place. And then you want to do it on the other side, try and get it in the same place. take hold of the wire in about the same place, bend it in, try and bend it in the same amount. So we'll try and do that on the other side as well. Pull the wire apart a little bit first, just enough room to get your pliers in. So as we did for the back, we need to bend the wires on the sides here. We only really get one go at this, so it's best to take your time and try and get it right. So we've made a gap already. And grab hold of that wire and bend it in, just enough for it to hold. Do the same on the other side. This is where it gets a bit fiddly, because there's not that much room to grab the wire now. I'm going to pull it right up. And it's so fiddly doing it behind the camera too. Ugh. I want to grab it roughly in the same place and bend it in about the same amount. So this wire at the side needs to be central. And that's it, held nicely in place. I do love the shine on that stone. We're going to need some 28 gauge to do the bail. I wind mine onto a bobbin. These are Bobeeze by Beadsmith. I always use these now. They put a nice weight on the wire, stops it flying around everywhere. I've put a link in the description below for those as well, if you're interested in buying those. So please buy through my links. So we just want the back two wires now, because we're going to do a bail. So I'm going to take the front two wires and just pull those out the way for now, and the front two wires on the other side. So we've got these two back wires. And you want them to come out at a nice angle. You don't want it too wide or too shallow. Your weaving wire. And we'll start with 3 wraps around the bottom wire, because we're just working over those two for a bail now. You'll only need about 100 centimetres of this, because it's just for the bail. So you want to slide that right down to the bottom. Doesn't want to go. There we go. So we've got 3 wraps around the bottom wire, and then go over the other wire, and we're going to put 3 wraps around that one. And that's our repeat. Over the opposite wire and do 3 wraps. And then go over the opposite wire and do 3 wraps. And keep repeating that until you get a nice size up about here for the bail. So I've done a few more repeats of that on the bail. Can cut that tail off now. keep pushing it down as well as you go. Keep compressing the weave down on both sides without misshaping it. It's important that you don't let these wires come together, and don't bend them or lean on it together because you'll crimple all your wires. But what we want to do now is, when you get to about that kind of size, have a look what that is. It's about 1.5 centimetres. We're going to shape the top of the bail. So you want to bend the wire in, and you just want to have a nice diamond shape here. And the wires get to the top when you're happy with the shape. You want to straighten them back out so they go back like so. So we've got a shape to continue our bail. And then you want to keep weaving up this section and stop at the neck there. As you weave this next part, it gets really quite fiddly and it will keep trying to slide along the wires. So what I do is I position my wire where I want it to sit, and then I hold on to it. And you have to keep, bear in mind, you don't want these wires to come together. I've gone around and it's definitely where I want it to be. Then I'll go around it another couple of times and it's in place. Then you go over to the other side, put it in place and hold it there. And it will keep wanting to slide up there. So put it in place and hold on to it, and then you go around another couple of times. So it's going to be a bit painstakingly slow, but that's how we're going to have to do it. And then hold that side down and come over this side. And we need it to go, make sure it stays next to it. If you pull the weaving wire too tight, it'll sit up here and it'll be really hard to push down. So make sure you push it down before you pull on your weaving wire. So you need to keep repeating that until you get up to that neck part where it joins there. So I've got right to the top there, and this top part is, for me, never as tidy as the bottom part. But we're going to bend it now, and that'll be the back, so it won't be as obvious. When you get to the top here, we need a few wraps around both wires, and then a few wraps around a single wire just to hold it all together. And if you're working with square, I've noticed these main wires, they do keep twisting a little bit, and you can correct it just with a little tiny twist with the nylon pliers, and then you won't mark the wires. So I've just straightened it a little bit. That's what we've got so far. So now we're going to bend the bail around. So if you've got bail pliers, great. If not, I'm using a paintbrush handle, just the end where it's quite small, and you put it on where the widest parts are of the bail, and we're going to bend the bail over to the back. So I'm putting my thumb on here and I'm bending the bail forward a little bit as well. I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm going to take these two wires at the back and just bend them out a little, so that when it, I'll pop the bush back in, so when it meets, it meets nice and flush, and you've got a nice shape to the bail. So if you kept your half round from before, you can now cut your weaving wire. Because if you haven't got the half round, you can just use your weaving wire now to secure it. So we're going to push it nice and flush, and then I'm going backwards around just to hold it all together. Trying to make sure it's square. I think my bail's gone off to the side a little bit. And I'll take that around one of the single wires just to secure that. So I've wrapped that around the single wire, and I shall just cut that there. So because I went the other way around to what we did originally, I've now got the top wrap is the flat side on the outside. But we'll hide that next. So that's what we've got so far. So now take the front wire of the two wires that are on the right here. And I'm going to scoop it around. To make a loop shape like that. So once we've got the first loop in place, hold that in place at the top, and we're going to go around again, only this time we want to sit a bead on it. So take a bead, I'm using a 3mm bead. And then you want to go around again, so we've got 2 loops. Now we're going to take the next wire, leave that one for now. If you're using round wire, to make this wire look a bit different, you could coil your weaving wire onto there and coil it as far as it takes. We're going to wrap this wire around to follow. So because I'm using square, I'm going to twist this wire. So using my nylon pliers, I'm going to grab the end and I'm going to twist the whole pendant, pulling on it a little bit, so you do put a bit of pressure onto it. I'm going to keep twisting it until I've got a nice twist in the wire. You can see it starting to go there. Do it a little bit longer. So I've twisted it. I'm quite pleased with that. I just gripped the end with the pliers and twisted the actual piece around, and you have to put quite a tension on them without pulling too hard. So now I'm going to bend this one around to follow the others, and it's a little bit stiff now, and para wire is a bit awkward to work with anyway. I'm working with all para wire today. So you want to shape that around to go above the top loop, to come next to this loop here. So we've got that at the top. So now take the short piece of half round that we've got left, and I'm just going to strap these 2 wires together about here. So putting the flat side against the wires, we're just going to go around just to pin them together. And we'll only go around a few times. That's my dog making strange sounds in the background. And I'm going to cut both of those wires just behind there and then flatten them down. So I've secured that and cut them off at the back. So next we take the twisted wire or coiled wire if you're using round wire. I'm going to curl that around, and the other one, holding it in place at the front there, I'm going to take it around to the back. I'm going to bend the wire in advance so it'll go round, and you want to push it through so it wraps around those wires there, the original wires that are holding the stone. So I've actually trapped my back wire in there and I didn't intend to. I'm just going to cut these back wires and curl them. So I'm going to cut that now to get it out the way. I'm going to cut it just below there, and the same on the other side. So now I'm just slowly wiggling it through. So what I'm going to do with these wires is I'm going to cut them off short and curl them around, so I'll have a curl here and a curl here central to the front. And I'll leave those for now and I'll finish those off in a minute. I think I am going to curl these wires because they're going to get in the way when we finish off these other two now. So I'm just going to curl these wires both in the same direction. We need to curl the wires on the back too. So now for these last two wires, I'm going to curl them over and pull them down. And then when they get to the stone, putting your finger against the stone, I'm going to curl them around together, all the way around. Like that. So now we need to add our little beads. I'm going to separate our wires a little, and on this wire, which sits closer to the stone, we're going to add a selection of little beads, and I've got 1, 2 and 3mm beads, and they've all got quite wide holes in the middle of them, so they should fit onto my wire. So have a play around and see what kind of pattern you like to put the beads in on there. So that was so fiddly, I didn't want to make you wait and watch me struggling with little beads. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 millimetre beads, and all mine are sterling silver because beads are always the first thing that the coating rubs off. So even though this is para wire, I still use sterling silver beads. So put your beads on however you want them. You could put a few 3mm on there, you could go 2, 3, 2, or you could just put a line of little seed beads along there, you know, as long as they fit onto your wires. And holding them in place, you're going to take both wires around. So I'm bending them in advance so they do go around and through the middle there. And you don't want this to misshape all the other wires as you go, so make sure that you hold it all as you bend them around. So I've pulled that through nice and tight, and I've also pushed it out a little bit so it didn't cover up my stone too much. Now we bend them around again, and this time I think I'm going to pull that one too. I'm going to cut that one off, even a little bit of length so I can flatten it around. But I am going to post this one back through. And then I'm going to curl it around and finish that with a curl there right in the middle. This wire sticking out, I'm going to bend it around. And you don't want to misshape everything on the front and pull it too much. Somebody asked me the other day which are the pliers that you squish everything down with. My blue pliers are my Xuron pliers. They're the tweezer nose ones. In the links below, they're always at the top of the list. I do like my bent nose pliers as well. So we're almost done here. Just need to curl this one around, and then we've still got those two on the back. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to bend one way and one the other. I'm going to cut them off a little bit shorter. Keep slipping, trying to grab it right on the tip. I do a lot of fiddling after I've done a curl or a shape, and I usually turn the camera off and do all the fiddling and come back, but I'll just show you. I do fiddle with it a lot, trying to get it just how I want it. Is it straight? Do I need to adjust anything else on there? I might just bend that one in a little bit more. So many little things you can tweak when you think you've finished. I'd adjust that curl a little bit. That's better. I think I'm happy with that. There we go. I made this a while ago on Facebook and I had a few of you ask for a tutorial on it. So there you go. And if you'd have done it with the teardrop, you may struggle adding all your wires into the bottom here. So I really do think this is for a round stone, unless you put your teardrop this way up, I suppose. But we do add wires to the top part as well. Yeah, maybe it's more suited to just a round stone. I hope you found this tutorial easy to follow and I didn't talk too much. And thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for all your lovely comments below. I do try and reply to everybody. See you in the next video. Bye.